Hello once again. We're back at you with the Just Us show. Yours truly, King Jacob and the lovely Queen Unique. But before we get started, we will do the disclaimer. Go ahead and tell them what you're going to tell them, Queen.
Okay, hello. I'm going to say that this is not a part of Unique Blessings nonprofit organization. We are here just being us tonight. Grab your water, your wine, put the kids to bed. Saints, go to bed. You're not invited. And pray for us tomorrow because it's Sunday. So that's all I got to say.
All right, you heard it first, man. This is not a part of Unique Blessing nonprofit organization, but we're going to get into what we get into, and we need them prayers early in the morning, raining down on us. So today we have a very special guest, R&B soul singer songwriter. You know, she's a mother and an advocate of many things in the community, and so I'll just let her introduce herself. So she is our special guest, but she'll tell you who she is because she can tell you better than I can, for sure.
Hello. Thank you, Jacob, for having me on your show. Hello, Unique. I want to say hello to everybody out there. I'm Panessia Young, R&B singer, songwriter, a mother of four beautiful kids. I'm a wife. I work hard, working on my music. Been doing it for a while, and I'm still going by the grace of God. And I want to keep on elevating to the top. Keep on working hard.
You heard that? She gave you the rundown of who she is and what she about and how she's investing into this music. So, with that being said, there's a common balance that people don't really talk about when it comes
Mm.
to motherhood and music. So there really has to be a balance because being a mother is a full-time job, is overtime, it's time and a half, it's double shift, it's the night shift, it's second shift, it's the weekend shift, it's every shift. So, being a mother is a hard job in itself. Being a mom don't come easy. And then when you add the balance of being a female R&B soul singer, there's a lot that come with that territory. So let's talk about how you balance it all. Because you have kids that's really active as well, and so you got to take them here, you got to take them there. You got to be at this event, be at that event, but you still balance your studio time, your live performances, songwriting, doing your research on music, and you have a husband that you have to tend to. You have to be attentive to your husband as well. So let's talk
Yeah.
about how you balance all the together.
Well, Jacob, sometimes I feel like I'm superwoman, but uh,
Hmm.
having my kids, and my kids are teenagers, and I have two girls and two boys. So my girls are grown, and my boys are teenagers. So it's pretty much like I take my afternoons when I get off, from my little job, and I make sure they do their homework, make sure they eating. They go places on the weekend. I make sure they go places on the weekend. I have my time with them, my talks with them, checking on them, making sure everything is good, making sure if they need to talk to me about anything. Family is always first before my music. So I feel like even though I've been doing the music for so long, I still have to maintain taking care of my family because my family is important. My family loves me. I love them. And as a mom job doesn't end. Even when the kids get grown, you still have to continue being mom. So pretty much, and as far as my husband, thank God I have a very supportive husband that's understanding when I have to go to the studio. and I have video shoots. He's very understanding. Sometimes my husband comes with me, and I be happy that he's there, and he's so understanding. Sometimes he say, "Well, you go ahead and go without me." He knows I'm working, so it's a blessing to have a secure soulmate that's supportive. So it's like the balance comes to me, it comes so easy. It's really not hard for me, to be honest. And I love everything that I'm doing. It's not strenuous on me. It's not pressure. It's something that I love to do. And of course, I love my family. So it's like everything is like in such a great circle. And I keep God first, because
Right. So
without him,
always
nothing is possible.
you have always talked about that. When we first started talking years ago, you always say, that you always keep that balance with God first as well, and your kids and your family always knew that, and so that's one thing I can say about you. You don't ever forget where your blessings come from, and that's important when you're navigating through your journey. And so I'm gonna let Queen Unique step in here and chat with you for a minute, because she is a mother and she runs a nonprofit, and she's a licensed cosmetologist, and she's a youth counselor, and the accolades can go on. But I'll just let her, chop it up with you, because y'all are mothers, and y'all can have that mother talk. So Queen Unique.
Ooh, I think she answered a lot of questions, but my thing is, where do you get your motivation from as being a mother? And do you ever come into those points where you're just tired? I know for me, my motivation comes from my children, but I'm not married. So I know having that extra support as far as a husband and things like that, that does count. But how old are the kids? Well, I had heard you say 2 adults and 2 teenagers. How old are they? And how do you keep? Because you just like, well, it's just all good. How do you keep going without those moments when you say, you know what, my family, I have to kind of take a break and get back to my family? Have you ever had those moments? Because I know what me, King Jacob, would tell you, the reason behind the nonprofit. My daughter, my oldest, no, she's my youngest daughter actually, and she have a love for music, and I had to shift some things around to kind of not really micromanage her, but to make sure she was on the right path, because the industry does seem like it's a lot, and I'm just learning about the industry, and it just seems like it's so many places and things you can go, and you have to be a strong individual to really have a successful career as it concerns music. It's like everything is offered and it can get overwhelming, and that's what I see from the end. So where do most of your motivation come from for you to keep that balance and that alignment?
Well, most of my motivation comes from, I started this, and my mother told me to never give up on my dreams and my goals and my accomplishments. Mom was the one that had me and my sister in talent shows. When we were growing up, she started us out on the gospel choir. And then, once I got in school, I was singing in talent shows. And it came from several people, like people would say, keep going, don't stop. When people telling you they're feeling your music and they're loving what you're doing, that's some motivation to push you even more. And then, of course, my kids, uh, thinking about how I wanted to have more money to provide better for my kids, which I am doing great now. But I was just saying, well, I might want to open up a business, some type of, business where I could leave it to my kids, you know, just thinking about the elevation of how things could just keep getting better. And I have been tired. I'm not going to lie and say I've never been tired. I have been tired, and I have taken breaks. And the
Okay.
break that I took, and it was a big break. I did my first album, completed my first album in 2008. And so I took a break for a while, and then I had to come back and start working on my music. And then as far as now for breaks, sometimes I don't attend everything that comes up because I don't feel I'm meant to be everywhere. Sometimes you can support from afar. And,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that lane is not your lane. So I look at it like, okay, I'm going to support, but, maybe I just need to just lay back on this one, you know, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's just
That's good.
sometimes you know where you should be and you know where you shouldn't be. So that's how I look at it, so, and
That was profound.
that's pretty,
Like that was profound. Knowing where you belongs and where you don't belong. How long did it
right.
take you to get to that point? Like that's a that's a hard place to reach, especially when you're passionate about something and you do want to help and you have a heart to help because you, even with your energy and your spirit from doing this podcast right here, it sounds like that you have a very easy, welcoming spirit. How did you, because I know you don't just wake up and you like, especially in anything that you're passionate about, you want to go here, you want to help, you want to do these things. At what point did you get to where you say, you know what, I'm gonna have to support in a different way besides physically being there? And what are those ways that you support? What are some of those ways?
Sometimes by sharing something online or giving a positive, kind word, to me, those are big. You don't have to be physically there. That's what, some people fail to realize. We can't be everywhere all the time because we have our personal lives, you know, that we have to tend to things and take care of things in our personal lives. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to be there. It's just sometimes you just can't, you know.
Hmm.
And I might have had something where I'm preparing for my show, but I wanted to step out and support, but I couldn't because I had to practice and do what I had to do for what I have going on. But of course, I didn't forget about the other artists. It's just the fact of, where priorities stand.
Mhm.
But you're online
Okay.
and you see what they got going on and you're sharing, you're commenting. That's support right there.
I love it. I love it. I
Yes,
needed
yes.
to hear
So,
that tonight. I definitely did. Thank you.
You're so
insp-
welcome.
inspir- inspiration and motivation is always a tool that we need to share with each other, no matter what's going on. Um, you know, um, to give somebody encouraging words that inspire them to move to their next step or to get out that rut that they're having in that during that particular day.
Hmm.
Be like, man, I need to talk to you. I'm glad you called me, and you don't know why you're calling them, but they've been on your mind. So I think that's that spiritual gift that you might have, where God is directing you to check on this person, because sometimes a friend will call you, and your family member might know that you're going through something, and you ain't heard from them in several weeks. So and they
Hmm.
may know you're going through something, but that friend don't really know what you're going through, but it's just in their direction to give you a call. So I think that's a part of the spiritual balance that God puts inside of us. So I'll keep doing what you're doing. So
Yes.
I heard you say you had two sons, and so music in the community goes together so hand in hand. Cause a lot of songs that we hear may register with us. About our family members, about our children, and stuff like that. So with you having two black males, like what are some of the conversations that you have as a mother? Because one thing about it, you are a gifted singer and songwriter and performer, but you are a mother first. So that balance of talking to young black males in today's society? What are those conversations like for you?
Well, I've always talked to my sons about, not trusting everyone so easily, because it's so easy to get involved in something that someone else has got going on that may be a bad thing, and you could just be guilty by just being there. Sometimes you don't even have to be interacting with what they got going on, but sometimes, they might have the wrong thing on them or something like that and get caught, and you're there with them. And a policeman, sometimes they don't want to, there are a lot of times they don't want to hear, well, it's not mine, or and then it's like there's the tangle. You know what I'm saying? It's like I talk to them about focusing on getting a great education. It's very important that a high school diploma is not enough. And I talk to them also about dress properly. Make sure you always have your clothes pulled up on you neatly. Wear belts, no hanging pants. I talk to my boys about that. That irritates me. I don't like that hanging pants. Like, it's just, to me, it doesn't look good, So, I mean, I tell them to be respectful to ladies, open doors. My sons, I taught them to be respectful, don't be using no cuss words and stuff like that. Just carry yourself respectful. You come from a great home. Uh, my oldest son, he's into the word, and he's also talking to his brother about it. No, they have not been perfect. My kids have not been perfect. I don't feel like there's no perfect person on this earth, and I just feel like they've learned from things they've done wrong when they got in some trouble, and they learned from things that they've done wrong. And the thing is, they're doing better. They're going up, not down. And so
Mhm.
everybody makes mistakes.
Mhm.
Plenty of people have made mistakes in life, but it's about learning
Yeah.
from the mistakes, not going over and doing it
Right.
again. You know, it's like you gotta learn to, hey, do better. If you got a question about something that you need to know, you can come to mama and ask mama. You can come to daddy and ask daddy, you know, pretty much. It's like, they know that I will listen to them, because I will see my kids and I
Mhm.
would say, is there anything you need to tell me? Anything mama needs to know? I need to know what's going on. All of my kids know that they can come to me about anything. And that's important for a child, to be able to talk to their parents about anything, especially today, because
Mhm.
school is so different now. Society is so different now compared to, when I was growing up in school and growing up, period. There's so much has changed now, especially with social media, and even with bullying and stuff. People, you know, have experienced that with, their children, being bullied and stuff like that. So it's like so many things has changed,
Yeah.
you know. And
Mhm.
before I got on this live, my son was down here in the living room area, and he was playing his Christian music. And so I didn't tell my son to turn to Christian music every single day. My son
Mhm.
decided on his own that he wanted to listen to Christian music and, change. I talked to him and I talked to my other son, but it's also up to the kids to make the right decisions in life, because we can tell them all we want, but it's up to our children to listen to us, because that's important for them to
Mm-hmm.
listen. You know, so you could tell a child to listen, but sometimes, if that child don't want to listen, then it's like, okay, you got to see what mama and daddy was saying,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Amen on that. I appreciate it. So, Queen Unique, just to piggyback off that a little bit, as far as raising a young man in American society and with all the police brutality that's going on, and how mothers really worry about their sons when they leave the house, and and how it's a ultimate blessing to see your child and to see yourself come back inside the house when you have left and been out there, in society. So that's a blessing in itself. If you can leave home and return home, you don't know exactly how blessed you really are. So that's the blessing.
yeah.
So, Queen Unique, I'm gonna let you piggyback off what Panessia just said. Because these are some jewels that I'm getting. So I'm blessed to have two queens on the show tonight for sure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. You're
Um,
welcome.
I don't know. Your voice, they sound impressive. I like it. And I like how you are available for them. It is big on being available, especially for the young male. I know I have a 22-year-old son, and communication is a big deal. And just being there, we have, and it's good looking at you, because it's like me and my son, we have the same kinds of talk. He like all kinds of music, but and he recently did come into the house, and he was asking me something about a gospel song, and he was like trying to sing it, and he sounded awful trying to sing it, but my heart smiled when I heard him say, "Ma, you know that song you were listening to?" And he was trying to sing it and he was dancing, so my heart was smiling, because it showed me that he do listen to what I'm saying, and it is sinking in, just as far as the importance of what you listen to. And so when he decided to listen to like the rap music and things like that, when he was very young, we had a conversation. And I'm not a big rap fan, but I never wanted to change him for who he was or who he would become. And so I said, "Do you understand that this is entertainment?" Because music have an influence on our boys. Um, and it can take them in either way. And I'm often concerned when it comes to our young males and our females too, but our young males more so, because they hold things in, and you see actions more than you hear those verbal words. And so I explained to him about music and how to carry the spirit, and how what we sing sometimes, depending on what mood we in, it can set the tone for our day. And so I know I would say, when you get up in the morning, be careful what you listen to, because if you get up and all you listening to that, I ain't gonna say the words, but you can imagine some of the words, and then you go into your classroom or you go into somewhere, you're gonna become what you listen to. So I explained to him about entertainment, and I said, "Do you understand that this is a profession? Like a lot of these people that you hearing, for instance, I'll throw Lil Wayne out there. So like, we hear the music, but we don't hear oftentimes the education part. Ti, these guys are very educated, but we look at the entertainment side and we think that that's who they are, when that's far from who they really are on the inside of them. So we had a thing. You can listen to whoever you wanted to listen to, but you had to know their real name. You had to know what school they went to, and you had to know what inspired them to become the musicians or, artists that they were becoming. And you needed to know things like hometowns and, not just T.I., like what is his real name. And so one thing that he do when he listened to the music, he always do kind of a background of the bio of who this person really is, aside from their chosen field of entertainment and what they do. So actually, I agree with you. Pulling the pants up, learning how to treat women. We just recently, I think like day before yesterday, had a long conversation on how he handled his anger when it comes to women and females. And I said, well, when you have anger towards a woman, look at that woman as your mother, your grandmother, your sister, your cousin, and how would you want someone to handle them? And instantly we had hung out and we talked about it, and he expressed, well, okay, I didn't look at it like that. Self-care, self-love, um just really loving yourself. Even though you're a man, it's okay for a man to love themselves. Last night we had a conversation about um expressing yourself, if not holding things in. As a young man, men have emotions too, men should have investment too. And if you don't love yourself and invest in yourself, then the world don't know how, even if they want to. And then being receptive of receiving the love and the investments and things like that. And what is the return going to look like? He don't have children yet, but I know that sometimes he's quiet, and I always want to get down in there and just be like, what's on your mind? And I don't know if you find the males closer, but to me it seems like my boy, I only have one boy, is closer to me than my girls. My girls, they more so want to go out, they want to explore more, they want to do it on their own, but he seems to be the closer one and very curious about life and love. He loves his mama. And so I'm just going to assume that your boys love their mama too, because of what you give them. And I think Jacob love his mama. I know Jacob talk about his mama all the time. As much as he try to act like he a big boy, he's still a mama boy. He's still a mama boy.
Well, I can say I am. Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So, but just
Is
to
any
piggyback
of the
on what you said, men. Say it again.
I was ready to say that it was any
Just
of
to
the boys
piggyback
in
what you said.
music. Was any of the boys into music like their mother?
I couldn't hear what you said. It kind of
I
had
was
a
saying
little something in it. I couldn't.
was any of the boys taking the platform to be into music as well, or was they active in the community like you? Like, do they join you in your career?
Well, I have my youngest son. He loves rap. He loves to rap. So he's pretty much into rapping. He's went to the studio with his friends and they have rapped, put the little
Okay.
songs together and stuff like that. Just a little something they did while he was over their house. So it's pretty much like he loves music. And then my oldest son, he loves to dance.
Oh,
He loves
okay.
to dance. He can dance really great. And he
Oh,
has a little voice on it too. He likes to
okay.
sing. They've been in talent shows and did little songs with
Mm.
their friends and things like that. So they pretty much have moved into the music direction, but not as far as wanting it to be a career right now.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're going to do about the music right now, but they do have some musical talents. And I also have my baby girl, she can sing and dance and rap. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's pretty much like, matter of fact, me and my baby girl, we did a song together called "Let Me Live."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we did a
So I
song together. It's on YouTube, and pretty much it's like it was something relating to what happened with the police brutality. We did a song called "Let Me Live." So we pretty much
okay. I gotta go
we
check that out.
yes, I will have to send it to you. I will send you the
Yeah.
link. Yes, it's on YouTube.
Okay. Or and Jacob, if you can you type
Mhm.
that
Okay.
link down into the chat so we all can check it out?
Oh, sure. Um, should
Sure.
be under. It should be under Panessia Young. Let Me Live.
Okay. Panessia Young, Let Me Live. That's powerful
Hmm.
though. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm interested in definitely
Very powerful.
hearing that. So, what else do you do outside in the community as it concerns community issue, work or whatever?
Well, I do work in the school district and
Whoa,
student transportation. So
whoa,
yeah, so I work in the school district. Been there for 25 years.
woo. Okay,
And I pretty much, I'm gonna tell you something. I love it because I mean, it's like I love kids. So it's like
okay,
I just feel like kids are blessings.
yes.
Kids are blessings, and I thank God that I have all four of my children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but I want to say this too. I also was active in the community. I was in the Satin Dolls Social Club, and we would help out with community cleaning, cleaning the community up, feeding the homeless,
Nice,
and things like that, helping families, needy families, positive things.
nice.
Anything positive, so I love to help people.
Nice. Thank you for your work. Thank you for
But
your work and your artistry as well, both, because music is definitely needed for the soul, especially if it's positive. I tell people, you can take away the television, you can take away everything, but do not take away my music. Um,
Exactly.
it's it's something just like it hits your soul. It holds you when you need to be held, and it's always soothing. I mean, regardless of what kind you love, it speaks to you without physically being there. And it goes so far. It goes so far in your soul across the world, and
Yeah.
it have heavy influence on us. So thank you for
mhm.
just putting your work out there for the whole
Thank
world to
you.
feed off of.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure. It's something that I love. So, like I said before, it's never pressure on me because I love music. This is something
Hmm.
that I always wanted to do when I was little. And mom and
Wow.
dad used to play the oldies, Patti LaBelle, the
All
OJs,
right. All
um,
right.
Aretha Franklin, of course.
All right.
So I paid attention to a lot.
Okay.
My love of music for music goes way back.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you named some good
Mm.
ones. I don't know if
So
everybody listening
so
know
speak.
about that one. You named some good ones.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So so speaking of music, uh, Vanessa has agreed to sing something for us and give us a little some for the soul. And so without further ado, I'm gonna introduce to P Young. Never imitate or duplicate it, the one and only P Young.
Thank
So
you.
go ahead and give it to him.
Thank you so much. I guess I just sang a little piece of my song called When Love Comes. Love, when love comes your way, you always hope and pray that love will always stay. Love, when love comes your way, you always hope and pray that love will always stay forever in your heart. My love will stay forever.
Mm,
All righty then.
I like.
That is the first song I ever heard by her. And
I love it.
I was telling her, before we got on, I was like, you really need to get that song repackaged, remastered, and put it out there because it has a special meaning behind it. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think it's been pushed out to the masses, as it should be. Because that was the very first song I heard by you, and that was years ago. So, just to repackage it and put it out there like that, and and to shoot a newer video for it, I think it'll do well. I think it could really do a lot on a lot of movie soundtracks. So I think you should get it licensed to go in those soundtracks and those documentaries and things of that nature. I think it will do well for you.
It's it will be. I will put it back out again.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to do that because it seems like that song, for some reason, people feel it a lot for some reason. So, and I'm sitting down while I'm singing. I usually stand up when I sing, but I was sitting down. So
Right,
yeah,
right, 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 right,
Wow. You have a beautiful
right, right.
voice.
So,
And we need
with that
something
being,
like that out right
oh yeah, she
now.
do.
We need, like, now, we need all the love that we possibly can have. Like, even when you did that little piece, like, my eyes almost closed. So, we need that right now so much into the world, especially with this pandemic and us losing and being separated and so much going on. We need to be reminded. Um,
yeah.
that love can come our way.
Mhm.
We if we allowed it in. So I'm looking forward to you putting it back out. And you have a beautiful voice. So thank
Thank
you.
you very much. I felt I could have did it better though, but I was sitting down.
And so, well, Vanessa, the reason I wanted you to come on this particular show,
Uh
um,
huh.
is because me and you always used to talk about things that going on in the community. And so,
Mhm.
Queen Unique is a big advocate of the community and a big community activist. So with intertwining your vocals with what's going on in the community, I think it would be a good fit. And especially since both of y'all are mothers, it's a lot. I would like to see something like the motherhood reclamation. And I think this can be a
Mhm.
global thing, because, when you speak of motherhood, you got mothers from all different avenues. But one thing about it, mothers give life. And so that was my particular strategy for bringing you on the show today, because you always like, I love the nonprofits. I want my music to be inside the nonprofits, and I want to embrace the community through my arts
Mhm.
and my crafts of music. And so here you are. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes,
Thank you for
definitely.
having me.
Definitely. Look, I would like to
No
have
doubt, no
one
doubt,
of
no
those
doubt.
shows
So
as one of them songs as an opening to our shows and commercials. Like, I mean, I'm interested in the one that she just sung. Like, I'm like, I want more of
Well,
that.
I would. I'm definitely going to
right,
do
right,
more
right,
songs like that. And thank you for listening to me.
Yes. Yes.
right, right. So you guys was talking about men, have emotions too. And so, H Town told us that emotions make you cry sometimes, but in society, men are taught not to have any emotions. Like, I can remember the old school saying, when a young boy was emotional about something, and he was like, did they be like, man, suck that shit up. We don't do no
Mhm.
crying around here. So when can men really let those emotions out? And now even the young boys, they think that they have to be so macho and so tough because they don't want to be called soft. They don't they don't want to be called, man, you a sucker. You know what I mean? So how do we transition this where a masculine man can really still let his emotions out and feel like that somebody really care? Of course our mamas care, but society says a whole different thing once we leave our mama house. So, with you guys being mothers, you know, how can we transition this and with you being a musician too, you know, man, listen, with you being a musician too, Vanessa, man, your voice is so powerful in what's going on in the community, man. Like you definitely have something that can really blow. Like, like Aretha Franklin, man. Like when she was out there in the times of the Depression days, you know, and they didn't want her to sing stuff for the community. It's like it may drop your sales. She sung it anyway, and it went global. Africa,
Wow.
Germany, Europe, Trinidad, Jamaica, Haiti, you know, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. So it's certain songs that people need in their lives, you know, to get them through. And so you as an artist, man, and which you understand the music business. Now I will say, I can see your growth so much from when I first met you up until now. Um, you would think that you had a master's degree in music. For real, for real.
Wow.
Like your
Thank you
growth has
so
been
much.
phenomenal. So
Thank you
wow,
so
I was
much.
like, man. And I was thinking, I said, did she go to school for it? Or cause from when I talked to you then and when I have been talking to you recently, you're really a whole different person. You're just a whole different person, you know, and you know, but you always embrace the community. But I can tell that you was a little nervous back in the day, you know, on how people was going to accept you. But now you understand if they don't accept me in this market, if they don't accept me down south, then they'll accept me up north in the Midwest or the West Coast. So every song may not be in the market that you're particularly in, but another
Mhm.
market can make that song take off with the market you're particularly in, and you got no choice but to accept it because they don't want a down south radio coalition don't want the up north coalition to embrace this artist and outdo them, and their artist is from their home state. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's always a way that you can make your home state see. You know what I mean? Be like, you know what? I had this DJ in Baltimore. He remixed one of my songs. He put the house beat on it. Then he pushed it out to Chicago. He put the techno beat on it. He pushed it out to DC with one of the homeboys, and they put the go-go on it. And so now people from South Carolina here and like, ain't that P Young? What's she doing on a house beat or a techno beat? What the hell she doing on a electro beat? Like, who she know? And then the phone calls start coming in. Well, we want to book you for such and such. And then and we want you to do that song as well. You would have to call the house DJ to see if you can book him as well. So you know, it's a collaborative effort where you know somebody else from another state, you know, made you hot in their state, and now they're hot because DJs network from all over the nation and all over the globe. So man, why you ain't tell me about this RSP Young? Man, she buzzing up here in Philly, or she buzzing in Baltimore, or she buzzing in Connecticut. Why y'all not playing her music down there? So it makes them look bad. You know what I mean? It
Mm.
makes them look really, really bad. So, you know, it's always a strategy that you can use. You know, if they don't love you then, oh, they gonna love you. You know what I mean? So it's always a strategy you can use. And we don't have too many female R&B singers in South Carolina that's really, really soulful, man. That's really, really soulful, man. You got that soul with you, you got the like, yeah, if you want to listen
Thank
and
you.
if you want to get your mind right, play this for your girl.
Thank
Play
you.
this for your boy. You know what I mean? Ask your mom and daddy what they think of this, and who this remind them of. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of songs that older people tell you, oh man, this remind me of Minnie Riperton, or this remind me of Phyllis Hyman, or this remind me of Donna Summer. You know what I mean? Like they'll tell you, and then that makes the artist to go back and listen to these people, and they get some of those riffs and those runs that they can add to their music. Because an old school person told them, "You remind me of this old school artist." So it's
Right.
even good to talk to the elderly about your music. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
oh, you own one. Don't worry about it. You own one. As Drake said, I'm on one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Queen, you like chime in?
No, I'm just learning. I'm learning about the music. Music is something I love, but it's not something that I'm highly educated in. So I'm learning about how. I mean, I do. I mean, when you sitting here saying, you put the house music on and all that. I'm from Baltimore. So I'm like, okay, so that's how
Right.
they do it, and it's so true though. It's so true. It's like when you are from or in another state that you're not originally from, they seem to just love you and support you way more than the people that's right there that have the gift and have access to the gift that's right there. And I don't quite understand that because I know we'll take care of Baltimore. We like music. We like music.
Hmm.
I hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
And
even
so,
have an
so
event coming up.
you learn.
We have an event coming up in 2022, actually in Baltimore, with a great organization, Kids organization, Marty Brandon. We are collaborating with her, and we'll welcome you to come there and share and showcase some of your talent. Jacob
I would
can
love to.
Yeah, Jacob can definitely get you that information, and we can go ahead and
Sure.
talk about bringing you on this 2022 in July, in Towson, Maryland, actually, and so it'll be a gala going on up there, and I think that you would enjoy it, and we definitely would enjoy you, and we can bring you up there, showcase you, and you're welcome to come there.
I would love to come and
For
perform
sure.
there.
Yes,
For sure. So,
there's,
so
yeah,
I would
nonprofits
definitely
in the
connect
building.
you with the right person, and we got a lot of nonprofits in the building. So,
Oh
so
yeah,
it'll be a lot of people that you can network with as well as showcase your
Mhm.
talent. And
oh
so
yeah,
so
definitely.
I used to live in that DMV area for about 12 years. So the DMV sector is a little different from down south.
A lot
You
of
have
love.
a wide range of artists from DC, yeah, from DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and you have a lot of high end people that have some of these amazing connections that they have in the bag that they never let out. But a lot of times, if they take a liking to you, they was like, "I got something for you. Come here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you would meet a lot of interesting people, in that nonprofit sector that's connected with the music industry as well. You know what I mean? So it'll be a good look for you. Definitely be a good look for you.
That sounds great.
Yes.
So, so Vanessa, let's talk about some of your influences and some people that you want to work with in the industry.
Oh goodness. Well, my number one influence was Whitney Houston.
Oh,
I loved
Hmm.
her voice. Like I still do love it, even though
Who
she's not
didn't?
here with us anymore.
Hmm.
Um, I loved her songs. Her voice,
oh,
so powerful and piercing. And I would love to do a song with Lucky Day. It's an artist called Lucky
Hmm.
Day. He has a
Hmm.
lot of beautiful. He makes beautiful music. Um, I would love to do a song
Hmm.
with Jill Scott,
oh,
Of course.
India Irie.
oh.
Of course.
I love their voices. It's like their voices just blend so perfect.
But I could see you doing a song with Avant, either Avant or Joe or somebody like Eric Benet, for
Mm,
sure.
Oh, I love their voices too.
mm.
Yeah, so yeah, and she's like, yeah, yeah, man.
I
So
love
Yeah.
their
you
voices
know,
because I grew
I'm
up listening to so much of their music. Like
Mhm.
seriously, I've listened to
right.
so many different artists. Like I would be, s- I would even be singing along, like you know, na, 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 na. Working on my vocals. Like
The real right,
yeah, working on my
right.
riffs and
Good,
stuff
good,
like
good
that.
artist.
Doing
Yeah. So
doing
Chantel, when
little
she said
little
riffs
things.
and runs, she mean when the artists really take you to church. You know what I'm saying? That's they riffing through the song, and when they break it down
We need
on the
that. We
bridge,
don't
they
have
running with
that
it. That,
anymore. We don't have it. We don't have that anymore. Like, I mean, with the new artists, shout out to the new artists, but we don't have like it's like the R&B, the soul, it's fading away. We don't have it.
I've been trying to help keep it alive because it's a lot of people here in Columbia, South Carolina that has beautiful, beautiful voices. And I've heard a lot of
mm-hmm,
beautiful singers. I've heard a lot of strong voices. And me as myself being an artist, I do voice warm-ups. I practice, I don't know what everybody else does, but for me, I feel like I have to practice. I have to keep it strong, keep it alive, because I feel like if I just, I feel like sorry my phone moved. I feel like if I get complacent, get too comfortable, I just feel like I won't put my best out. So I can't get too comfortable. I can't get too comfortable because I feel like it's no pressure, but it's like I feel like to stay elevated to the top, you must stay doing the work
Yes.
to get even better.
mm-hmm,
I don't feel like I'm at that point where I'm
mm-hmm,
like, wow, I could just cut this out. You know, I like to remain humble at what I'm doing to
mm-hmm.
elevate, to get better, so it's like, okay, Panessia Young, you know what you gotta do, so it's like,
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's a great thing. So, with that being said, Vanessa, now you did a recent song with a rap guy. Is his name Coleon? That's his name? Cordell Coleon?
he's actually my cousin.
I just watched
We
out.
found out. We found out
Okay,
we are
I just watched.
related. We are cousins. Yes, with
Okay,
my
okay.
dope cousin. He's a great, 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 super dope rap artist, and he creates and
Mm-hmm.
writes great music.
Right.
Yes, we did a song called "Official." Uh, he sent me
Mm-hmm.
the beat, and I listened to the beat. And when I listened to the beat was so on point. The beat grabbed me, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Sis, what you think about that beat?" And I was like, "I love that beat." It was like, you know, the hook just started coming to my head because that's when you're deep into it, when a hook could just start coming to your head. And I was like listening to it, and I started humming along, and I was like, let me put this with it and see how the sound. It's called "Official,"
Mm-hmm.
and I just
Mm-hmm.
started singing it,
It's
and I
dope though.
felt
It's
it.
dope.
Thank you so much. So we wrote it together. We wrote it together. I
Yeah.
wrote the
Yeah.
hook in my verse,
Okay.
and he wrote his part, and we just went in the studio and created a masterpiece.
That's a good thing. That's a great thing. And I actually love the video as well. So I'll be sending you the video, Chantel, too, so you can check it out.
Yeah,
Queen Unique.
definitely.
So you can check it out. And yeah, so it's pretty dope, man. So um, is there any other questions that you may want to ask her, Chantel? Because we'll be wrapping up here in a minute. So is there any questions that you want to ask her? Because you and the Queen been building on here. Yeah, Queen Vanessa and Queen, you've been building on here, dropping some really much needed jewels. It's always a good thing when I can hear two queens that's mothers drop some jewels, and go ask each other different questions and have different responses, and and talk about their sons, talk about their young kings and what their young kings mean to them, and and the self development, the self love, the self empowerment, the self enlightening, that they share with their young kings, so they can possess, as they navigate through the journey of life, and they can see the teachings that their mothers has taught them. So I was loving it. So Queen, you got the floor.
Uh, do you work well? Do you work with youth? Like, do you work with the youth if they want to come reach out to you? They want to sit in, they want to kind of shadow you, learn what you do. Probably more so women empowerment, kind of more deal. Do you work with them, or are you willing to if you don't?
I am willing to. I'm willing
Okay.
to do that. Yes. To me, I feel like the youth is a part of our future. And it's so important for the youth to be able to talk to someone who's willing to listen and give them the proper positive advice that they need, and to say, hey, if you, some kids don't have someone to listen to them at home. So it's great to be
Mhm.
able to be there for the young kids that's growing up, to listen to what they have to say, because sometimes that's all they need, just somebody
Yeah.
just to listen. You know, it's not always all about material things. Sometimes the child
Mm.
is hurting and in
Yes.
pain mentally and needs somebody to say, some kids cry out in different ways, you know,
Mm-hmm.
of how they deal with certain things that has happened. Some kids might have had some things that have happened to them in their past, and it's hurting them, and they keep it bottled inside.
Mhm.
Sometimes kids are afraid to say anything, about the pain that they endured. So I would love to help out
Okay.
as much as I can. The fact of me being a mother myself, you know, um, it's very important that the kids have someone that they can talk to and that will listen to them, you know.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'll be looking forward to talking to you more about that part, and seeing how we can come together. I'm in Charlotte, so we're not too far away from each other. And nowadays, we have the luxury of being virtual as well. So I'm
Right,
definitely looking forward to building more as it relates to supporting you, and then the youth probably shadowing you and seeing what we can do together as mothers, beyond our household, just to love on our kids and just do more. And thank you for transporting those children. That's a whole nother show. And one day, hopefully, we'll talk about that and
Yes,
why
sir.
that's important to me as
Right.
well. Before we close out, my 19-year-old now, when she was 14 years old, she did not arrive home from school one day, and I wish I would have had a caring bus driver that noticed that she wasn't on that bus, so we could have prevented some things from happening. So I thank you for transporting those children, and you'll definitely be in my prayer along with those kids as you go and continue to make sure that they get from point A to point B, especially during this pandemic. For me, it's a touchy spot when we're talking about, putting our kids in the hands of someone else. But it's also a gift to know that we have people such as yourself out there, um, that's doing what you're doing for the kids. And do you ever sing to them on a school bus?
to be honest, I don't. I don't.
Like, do they get on your nerves
I,
and get on the bus and be like, "Can you sing
I,
to us
I,
today?"
I actually just, I love what I do, and I just, do it professionally, and I just, just make sure that I'm doing my job, so, but of
Hey,
course,
you
like I
might could
said, my
go
first
viral.
love
You
is
might could go
music.
viral. You might could go viral. You might could, you be the lead and then you got your little choir in the back and I mean you sending them in the door and they like, Mom, listen, so you never know. You never know.
I sung happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sung happy birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
Right.
Thank
just,
you so much.
I had to love it being there as long as I have. But, like
Yes.
I said, my first love is, the music thing because that's something that I feel passionately about. You know, I feel passionately about it, and it's something that I just can't stop right now. So,
Keep going. We need both. So
So
keep going and thank you for being a
right.
superwoman. Thank you for putting that cape on because it's not easy. And you make it look good and it feel good while you're doing it. So I thank God for you and I thank God for your strength. And I'm here to support you.
thank
Right.
you so much, and I'll
Right.
support what
Yes.
you're doing as well.
Yes, Queen.
Mm. So P Young, when are you dropping a new EP?
It will be ready in December.
December.
It will
Okay,
be
so
December.
what we'll do on that release date, we'll have you back on the show for the release
Okay,
of the EP,
I will.
and we
I will
and we'll
let you know the
w-
release.
okay, and so we'll talk about the creation of every song you wrote, how you was in the studio singing it, and just talk about the different levels mentally and emotionally that you was at on every song because the emotional level is different. It just depends on what you're writing, and so that
Right.
really goes all into being a great songwriter. So yes, I'll definitely love to have you back for that release. So that's what's up. So
Thank you so
we gonna wrap it
much.
up, good folk, and you're welcome. You're definitely welcome. So the incomparable R&B soul diva P Young, has been on the show tonight. We chopped it up about motherhood, about the music business, about the community, all the above, man. You know what it is, man. It's the Just Us show with King Jacob and Queen Unique. And peace and blessings to everybody. And before we leave, we're gonna let P Young give her social media handle out, and so where you can find her music, where you can find her at, and anything you want to do. She's open to it, and you can just chop it up with her. But just know your business gotta be right to chop it up with her, cause her husband ain't playing no games,
As
none.
he should not. As he should not.
Right,
Well,
right.
I am on IG, of course, and I'm China Doll _1 on IG. And you also can find me on Facebook, Panessia Young. And also, I have some songs that's out right now. So I do have music on all musical platforms. And it's like, the songs that I have been promoting right now. So I have a couple of singles that's on musical platforms, on all musical platforms. Some of the songs, a lot of people have been paying attention to, and some of them, one is called It's Over Now, Know About Me. So I'm pretty much, I have been still working, even though the EP is not released yet, I've still been doing some work with putting songs out, putting music out, but the full EP will be ready in December for sure.
All right, you heard it first. December, it'll be ready, and we're gonna be on the lookout for that. But until the next time, man, I want y'all to have
Oh,
a blessed evening. Go ahead.
I got one more thing to say before we close out. I'm also performing at the Restricted coming up, the Restricted Lounge coming up next Tuesday, October 5th. And I will be performing in Charleston coming up on October the 10th. So My flyers are on my Facebook page, so I pretty much been promoting that as well.
Okay.
Okay, okay, y'all heard her. She says on her Facebook page you can check her out and go share the flyer. If you can't be there, just support her. But if you can make it, come on out and get that treat and get your ears full of that goodness. As my
Thank you
grandma
so
used to
much.
say, goodness gracious, baby. And so, you know, and so we live, raw and uncut every Saturday, man. Just us show, man. You never know who you're gonna get, what you're gonna get, but you're gonna get something that's good for your soul. We out of here. Peace, blessings, and love. And thank you once again, Panessia. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you, Queen. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.